I'll probably
Okay.
forget to start recording like I did once. In any case, well, yeah.
No.
And then I had
No.
to steal it off of Facebook. Um, one of the
Never.
reasons why your book is so important, and you mentioned this another time, is not so much that you go into any depth about specific effects, but more the psychology and the structure of things. And to me, that's just as important, maybe even more important
Yeah.
than the actual, the props or the tricks. Yes, I said the T word. Because if you're not likable on stage, as you know, or if you're not believable as a
Yeah.
thought reader or reader of thoughts,
Yeah.
then that's it. Might as well forget it. So there's this whole psychological thing that you build on or build from throughout, but also at the beginning as well. In Kreskin's case, yes, I brought up the K word. In Kreskin's case, he's pre-sold. So when people bought tickets to see his show, especially in the 70s on when his TV show was on,
Mm-hmm.
um, he didn't have to convince anyone of anything.
Right.
He was a mentalist. But if you're Joe Schmo like I am, or if you're somebody else who's lesser known or not known at all, who's this putz who's just walked on stage? Can he, yes, I said the P word. Can he really read thoughts? And how funny or entertaining or mysterious is he? So, what that,
You say a lot of words that begin with alphabet letters.
Hi, Michael. Michael,
yes, sir.
before we get started, Tommy, I've got a mate of mine who's visiting at the moment that you met in Lewis and in Tunbridge Wells.
Ian? Ian?
Hello.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Tommy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Oh, yeah, yes. Hi. Hi, mate. Good to see you.
I'm still waiting for that coffee.
Ah, yeah. Why are
How do you
you?
like how do you like that, Tommy?
That's pretty good.
Very cool.
Good
So
to
yes,
see
one
you,
of the things
John.
I love about the book is that you build from that. You teach, and I'm going to use the T word, you teach how to be more believable as, say, a mind reader, a thought reader. I don't like to say mind reader, and be a little bit more accepted on stage, which is more than half the battle. I think it's really crucial, actually. So
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
is going to be, beside a couple of other people's books, this is going to be the go-to psychological Bible of mentalism, I
Hope so.
predict.
I hope so. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm
That
not just
means,
saying that. You realize that, right?
yeah, no, that means a lot. Thank you.
No, it's true. And I'm just honored to have you on.
Like I said the other day, I'm my worst critic, so it's good to hear praise.
I
Because
think we all are. I think as
my,
performers
yeah,
or artists, we're all super critical of ourselves.
yeah, my mind is like a bad neighborhood sometimes.
Oh, can I ask you for a brief favor, a little favor, Tommy?
I
You
guess
know I'm
so.
hard of hearing in the one ear, and I don't want to keep doing this. Can you raise your volume just a titch? And same
I
thing with
think,
Cheryl, if you can. Just raise your volume
All
up
the way up.
a wee
I think
bit.
mine is all the way up
Yeah,
as
mine's all the
well.
way up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
Alrighty.
try to speak louder.
Okay.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Tommy.
Ah,
How are you?
Hey, let me
ah.
see it.
That sounds like I'm talking to my animals half the time.
In my case, you kind of are. But anyway.
Yeah.
Now, where's my
Hmm.
food dish? Where's my food dish?
You get a dish?
Huh?
No, right?
I just use
At
my
least a
hands.
water dish,
I
something.
just have to eat out of my hands.
My gosh, that's awesome.
I'm not used to the garden hose either for water. I need a dish.
Hey, I drink out of the water hose all the time.
You have a you have a hose?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're a hillbilly. Of course, you're gonna drink out of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Walk barefoot through the horse manure.
My
Oh,
Yeah,
oh God.
gives
I
you a
guess
good
I am a
manicure.
city boy. I just cringed at
I
that.
don't get manicures.
Yikes.
Gives you a nice manicure.
I've never, no, I don't get manicures. It's not worth
I
it.
I have on occasion. It's been a while.
For
But
me,
I
it
have,
was the 80s, Tommy, and
yeah.
I felt embarrassed. The girlfriend I was seeing at the time, she said, you're a magician. She didn't talk like that at all. I'm just making it a little more than it
Whatever.
is. Yeah, you need to do your nails, Michael. You're a magician. Make them nice. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I can see
yeah. I
because that
was,
is your,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I was told the same thing. But I haven't done it in a while. Sometimes I'll get one done prior to the show, because it makes me it makes me feel pampered, and I think that's important. Uh, before you do a live show, to feel like
Oh yeah.
presentable and cared for. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I ain't put
but
no nail polish in today. So usually I have the clear polish.
okay, yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I mean, that's usually what I get is a clear polish or just buffing the nails. Um, if they do a good job buffing the nails, you really don't need clear polish.
Well,
Which
it
kind of
manicure?
protects the nails so they don't break.
yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, I think, right, like not pre-pubescent, my mother used to put special
Oh, yep.
nail polish to make my nails harder.
Hmm.
'Cause, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, well, you got to make sure you get the cuticles because that's the
yep,
main part.
yeah.
I don't have them. I
You
really
got
don't have them.
Really,
They're
wow.
so little because I helped my sister's friend who was a going to be a manicurist, and I was her
guinea
uh
pig.
person that she did it on, you know?
Hmm.
And she's like, you don't, I really don't have any to push back or anything. Probably because
Wow,
everything I do.
yeah. Bobby, I like his jumper.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
like
thank
his
you.
jumper. It's really nice.
Oh
Yeah.
you make that
I haven't
yourself.
worn it for a while. Hang on a minute, I'll try and get it up.
You make it yourself.
Oh wow.
No, my sister-in-law knitted it. It's
Oh,
the
Ooh.
that's
full,
Ah,
it's
beautiful. Wow.
full Queen of, it's the full Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
My other,
Yeah.
my other one is the full Joker.
Oh, nice.
Full Joker.
Um,
My sister-in-law knitted them, and the number of times that I've had people trying to buy them off my back at magic conventions is
Oh, I
ridiculous.
bet. Yeah.
No, I never needed
Beautiful.
to knit these because my sister-in-law used to knit them.
Hmm.
But on one occasion, my brother got in touch with me and said, "We're having fun at our house." I said, "Why's that?" He said, "Because Pauline's knitting one of your jumpers, and it's 8 balls of wool going at the same time."
wow.
But
Wow.
yeah, if you're gonna do
I
a
think that was
design
this
like
one actually.
yeah, if you're gonna do
He
a
said
Wow.
8
design
balls of
like
wool
that, you
going at
have
the
to
same
have
time.
yeah.
But
I did a little knitting in my 20s when
Mhm.
the first time I quit smoking.
Mhm.
Because I wanted to keep my hands busy, and but I only made hats.
mm,
Um, but at one point I was doing pretty fancy hats with like multiple colors, so I had to have the
Mhm.
7 or 8 balls of yarn
yeah,
at
the
the same
closest thing I
time.
came to a knit needle is someone trying to stab me with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
those of you who have
Good.
just joined us on Facebook, welcome. It's going to be an incredible show. We have such a special guest this week. I was going to say, can you all guess who it is? But I think now you can. It's going to be the great Tommy Burnett. And I don't know about you, Cheryl, but are you excited that Tommy has honored us by being our guest this week?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I can't wait to start. You may remember me from my television shows in the 1980s and 90s, and now I host two regularly live streamed virtual magic shows. One is a showcase for some of the greatest magicians in the world, and the other is a talk show featuring some of the most inspiring conjurers of our times. Welcome now to Magical People. Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Magical People Live and our very special guest, Tommy Burnett, and my very special co-host, back again this week. Thankfully, it's Lady C, Lady Chameleon, Cheryl Hayes, my partner
Yeah.
in magic. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to just jump in because we have so much to cover, Tommy. I know we're not going to get everything done, which is why you're coming back end of July, hopefully, if you agree to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where do we begin? I'm going to
If you
start
if
with.
you agree, if after this, if you agree to have me back, that's probably more
I
important.
think I will. I think
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The magic, not the, but magic taboo.
Yeah.
I'm partial to magic shops in general, and even more partial to ones that specialize. And there aren't that many. We can probably count them on a hand and a half, whatever a hand and a half is. Um, Ones that specialize in mentalism and bizarre magic. I don't think I have enough fingers anymore.
Yeah.
I've I've lent them out.
You missed a couple. Yeah.
That's about a hand and a half, I think, huh?
Yeah.
So, um, your website, your magic website, I keep wanting to say the Magic Taboo. It is not. It's Magic Taboo.
Yeah.
Always
It used
spurs
to
on
be,
my
it
imagination when
used
I
to be
look at
the,
it. You
yeah.
do the graphics and you I think you do all the artwork for the most of the cards and
Yeah.
things that you sell. Do you have anything handy? Maybe we can whet people's appetites as well. You also use a lot of your props on the Open Mic Magic show. Sorry, Open Mic Magic Theater, seen every Wednesday on Facebook. Look it up. Um, let's have a look at that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's one of my
Yeah.
favorite ones.
This is going to be coming out hopefully at the end of August or before. Uh, it was called something else, but now I'm calling it Seven, because I think it'll be easier to remember. But it's based on the seven deadly sins of, let's see if I can remember it: pride, lust, anger, greed, gluttony, envy, and sloth. There we go. Yes. Um, Although on these, greed is called avarice, and I think that's the only change. And there will be a second set of the heavenly uh, attributes of which are the opposite of those I don't have memorized. Charity, chastity, patience, humility, temperance. It's 5 out of 2. Um, oh, what are the other two? Um, I don't remember. And I know from that prison right now, so I can't show them to you, but they will be available in August. And it will come with at least 2 routines. One of them you saw the other night, Wednesday night. And to quote Michael, look it up on Facebook. Um, Also available now on my anime pocket size plates. And it's just black
Oh, I
tape.
love that effect, and it's even more handy because it's
Yeah,
pocket
yeah,
size. You
it's
can,
in your pocket. Yeah. They come with a burlap sack and a start-up piece of chalk. And basically, the routine is I won't perform it because I have other things to see later if we have time. Um, but basically, you fill them all blank, and then the volunteer remove two, so we keep two, and they hold one side, you hold the other, and you do a little incantation, and then when you open it, there's a message written on the inside. It's an old routine. It's impractical mental effects.
It is. It
Uh,
is.
claim no originality. I just wanted a pocket size. Um, I'm not the only one that has small ones. Richard also have a really nice set, but his was square and they won't fit in your pocket. I wanted something that would fit in my back pocket or
Absolutely. And
inside.
it's hard with Osterland's set, which is the ones I use until I finally get around to buying yours. It's really hard to, I want to say manipulate. It's really hard to work with.
Yeah, they
It's
kind of,
okay for platform or stage. I've
yeah,
actually
it's
used
really
them a
nice.
few months ago, but I really love the practicality of yours. As you say, it could be very spontaneous. You're pulling it out of a pocket, or it could fit in a smaller case of yours, and they look incredible. So I think it's not Dr. Daly's slates, but I think the
Yeah,
routine is by him, and it was in Animan's book.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I think I call it Dr. Daly's um, message slates. I think that's what they're called on the website. But you're right. I think it was Dr. Daly's message or something like that in practical mental effects.
Yes.
Um,
Oh,
one of
one more thing about those. I was naughty a few months
the,
ago, and I don't think Cheryl knew about this, but we did it together. You did a thing with two slates or two cards or whatever, Cheryl. But I borrowed Kenton Knepper's handling for his two slates and
oh yeah,
adapted it. I adapted it to
yeah, got it,
uh,
yeah,
those
yeah,
other ones, and it
yeah,
worked. It worked just fine.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of ways to use slates. And if many books are no longer available, but you can find PDF versions on library.com, library spelled with a Y, for a nominal price. A lot of the old books on using slates have really great routines that nobody does because they don't know about them.
Yes. And it lends itself more to spooky magic.
It
You
does.
can almost see the chicken scrawl of a ghost or whatever on, and
Yeah.
I love chalk on slate. And with a whiteboard, you just can't achieve that, but there's a lot to be said about whiteboards, but they don't have that mystique. Sorry I interrupted you. Go
Oh,
on.
it's okay. I was just going to move on to a spooky effect. Um, and I only have a few of these left. So, and the price has gone down. So somebody in the audience just bought one the other day. Um, These are, in fact, this may be the one I'm sending him tomorrow. So, um, yeah, because Monday is my mail day. I send everything out on Monday. But back in the 14th century, something was invented called the horn book, Horn book, and it was a paddle that had text written on one side and a blackboard on the other side, and a little hole to hang it from your belt. And it was used by young students in school to learn how to read and write. And it usually had the alphabet and numbers on the top, so they'd be able to copy them and learn how to make words. And it also will have a couple of I don't know, headings maybe. And so in this case, let's have studies and underneath a class poem. And underneath that is a copy of the Lord's Prayer. And some of the wolves have been aged, so you can't see them very well. And that's on purpose. It's a handmade by me, and it comes with a video tutorial on how to use it. But the basic effect is they can pick any long word on here, and with a little bit of, I won't say fishing because it doesn't sound like you're fishing, but you do ask a minimum of, depending on what section, a minimum of questions, usually no more than 3 or 4. And it doesn't sound like you're fishing. And you can tell them what word they're thinking of. And it is repeatable.
And I love that. I'm going to tell you something, and I didn't, or I might have shared this with you before about that particular prop. I love it. I like the naturalness of it. Oh, we're doing the Three Stooges now, are we? Um, Let me poke Cheryl in the eye and I'll bonk you on the head. That's what we're gonna. Oh my goodness. So, um, a famous local mentalist friend of mine discouraged me, not from that particular effect, but one of the three methodologies around it.
Mhm.
And he kind of scared, he didn't scare me, but it's kind of like, oh, this is too hard for Michael to learn. And so,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
and I know it's not, I know it's
here's the
not,
funny
but
thing.
that's why I
Yeah,
haven't bought it. Otherwise, I
no,
would
I
have
get
snatched it
it.
up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to give you a personal tutorial. Um, I'll be honest, one of them is harder than the other two.
Yes,
And I say so in the tutorial. It's not it's not so difficult that it'll take you years to learn.
yes,
Um, one of them uses a progressive anagram, and the other two uses a different kind of anagram. And I don't think they have an actual name, but all in order to do the first two, all you need to remember are the last words in each section, and
yes,
using the letters in those words, you can figure out what the words they're thinking of, and
absolutely.
it's very
Not
easy.
hard. It's not hard at all.
The last one, I worked for months trying to get a really simple anagram, and I got one, but you have to memorize it. And a lot of people are like, "Oh no, I gotta memorize something." Well, if you want to be a mentalist, you're gonna have to memorize stuff. That's just the way it is. You
Yep.
know, it's just the way it is. I know of two different Dutch orders by memory. I know three different book cuts by memory. Um, so if you want to be a good mentalist, you have to put in the work. And I talk about that.
Absolutely. I'm going to
I talk
share some,
about,
sorry, I'm going to share something else with you as well.
please.
Because I've got the world's worst memory,
Mhm.
I will blatantly, and I've done this and no one has noticed, at least no magicians have spotted this because they sit well back from me. But
Mhm.
yes, yes, I often use cue sheets, some of them
Yeah,
blatantly printed huge and hanging
absolutely.
like a savant or a
Yeah,
servant on the back of my table. And like
yeah.
there it is. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna I'm not gonna take any chances. But
Yeah.
it's mainly because of my memory, and I want to focus on
Yeah.
presentation. Most regular people, or mentalists, or bizarrists, or mystery entertainers, they have a better memory.
Well,
But
now if
and one of the things I love about the that effect is it's a slate on the back, so you can write your prediction in chalk on the back. And when you did that on open mic
yeah.
Magic Theater on Facebook, it just kind of blew me away, not just because it was a stumper, it was a brain bedazzler, but also it was visual. The prop itself is visual. Can you all tell that I'm excited about this prop watch? They're all going to buy it now. I won't have one, but it's right out of history. I know I did my research. It's beautifully made. It looks good. And then when you have the finale, the revelation, if you will, in chalk on the back that you've written, wow. Yes, I am excited about that one. I guess I'm
Um,
partial to it.
and one good thing about chalk on black is it shows up really well, especially if you have a large audience. People in the back will be able to see. Maybe not if you're using this, but if you're using a regular size uh, blackboard or chalkboard, it will show up better than a whiteboard. That is a pro tip for anyone out there that doesn't know that. Whiteboards are great, but they don't show up very well when you have a light hitting them. But these will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, did you want to move on, or do you have a couple of other things to whet
It's up
people's
to you.
appetites with?
It's up to you. You're the boss.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's see at least one more because I love the stuff you sell on Magic Taboo.
I appreciate that. Um, these are now available. Um, this is called Federal Choice, and
Beautiful.
it's a deck of 10 beautifully designed, if I
Wow.
if I do say so myself, beautifully designed
It
cards.
is.
Thank you. They repeat, so I'll just tell you five of them. These are Egyptian um, tokens, uh, symbols, sacred symbols. Um, there's the Eye of Horus. See if we can get that in there. And these look way better in person than they do on camera.
Wow.
The part
Wow.
because I have a green screen on and it takes away from the
Oh,
color.
the
But
Ankh. Yeah.
yeah, the Ankh, symbol of life. Then there's the scarab.
That's pretty.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh, you've
The
used those on the show before, haven't you? On
have a couple of times, yeah.
yeah.
Um, the goddess Ka and the god Anubis,
Oh,
the
beautiful.
guardian the dead. Um, and I basically wanted to make a matching card effect that wasn't a circle, plus sign, wavy line, square, and star. And don't get me wrong, I love using EFP cards. I have designed my own EFP cards, and hopefully, once we get around to it, we'll be out on Alakazam. Um, yeah, and just to plug myself one more time, I have an academy on Alakazam uh, teaching the Haunted Key. So 3 hour lecture, co-hosted with Jamie Goss, my good friend. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend that. If you will find at least five or maybe seven ways of making a key turn in your hand that you've never seen before. And a way better than just key.
Absolutely. You know what I love, and I saw part of that. It's at the tip of your finger. which looks impossible. It looks truly magical. There's a good example of psychokinesis.
Yeah.
Um,
And,
Anywho, yeah, I'm excited about that. I only saw bits and pieces of that, and I think it was from a workshop you did with him, and now it's a DVD or a
yeah,
video.
well, originally I did a workshop was is
Ah,
available on my website, but when I went out to England a couple of years back, uh, Peter asked me if I could do a Abracadabra Academy, and so we did, and he got Jamie to come and help me out. And it was so cool getting to meet him and working with him. And actually, one of my effects actually fooled Jamie, and that was really cool. So, not that
awesome.
it's about fooling people, because it's not. And I talk about that in my book.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. It's not about fooling people, it's about entertaining. It's about maybe getting people to question their own reality or other realities. And I just love that. I do want to move on now
Yeah,
because I'm excited and this popped into my head as
yeah.
a graphic designer as well for many years. You are a graphic designer as well. You got my attention as you often do, if not always, Beyond the Veil, July
Mm.
20th. And hopefully you have an effect handy. Ah, good. There it is. I was hoping you would bring
Oh,
that up. Look at
yes.
that. Look at that. That is so cool. And I think it's very apt. I think with that one title or one sentence, you're kind of summarizing in a way mentalism or bizarre magic and that whole realm, if you will.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have something to give us a taste of that you might be doing that night or not, which, by the way, despite it's on my birthday, July 20th, I do intend to attend, yes. So you think I would miss you doing that?
Well, I mean, I did say you could go for free because it was your birthday. So who knows? I'm not saying you cheap. I'm not saying you cheap. Um,
Listen, a man my age, what am I going to do on my birthday? I'll have a
yeah, me
drink
too.
between
Me too.
cake and fall asleep or something. That'll be
I
my
know.
birthday, so
No,
I might as well have a good
I
time.
don't smoke. I don't drink. I can't tell you the last time I had sex. So, I'll be in bed. I'll be in bed by 8:30 on my birthday, which is this coming week, by the way.
Oh, you're
My
kidding. I
birthday.
thought you were in July as well. Oh,
No, I'm June 12th. So,
oh.
yeah,
Facebook has failed me again. I sometimes rely on them for my friends' birthdays instead of
never,
using
never
Right.
rely,
whatever this is.
never rely on Facebook. um, I don't know if I'll be doing this or not. Um, but I don't think I want to do this today. Um, I was going to do, yeah, this is one of my favorite effects by Blake Voigt, and I figured this is a good venue for that. So I'll do it on Lady C if that's okay, and maybe we can get Michael to help. But Lady C, I have this envelope here. Inside here, um, is I don't know, like a prediction. That's one word I don't like is prediction, but we'll call it that. But we're gonna build up a playing card, and we have high cards and we have low cards and a deck of cards. Which would you prefer, the high cards or the low cards? Let me see.
Low cards.
Low cards. Okay, so we'll pull this out. And as I predicted, low cards.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry,
Oops.
low cards.
Yay!
Uh, okay, that was a bad joke. But well, in the locals, we have the two, the three, the four, and the five. Which one would you like? The two, the three, the four, or the five?
4.
The four. Okay, so um, forgot where the five was. Yeah. Okay, so in here I have another envelope. Do you have any idea what is on the other side of this?
No.
Well, very good. You did really well. Now, I know another bad joke. Would you like the four of clubs, the four of hearts, four of spades, or the four of diamonds?
4 of hearts.
Four of hearts, okay. And is there any way I could have known that you were going to pick the four of hearts? Now, there
No.
really is a card in here. And some normal joking around. That was all joking around. But if this is the what we say the four hearts, if this was the four hearts, if there was one moon that you could like eat, out of your mouth, how amazing this is. What would it be?
If it is, it would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah, I know, but what um, I mean, I already said if it was amazing, what word would you use? Can you think of a different word? Like,
Like, wow.
yeah, yeah, very good. Wow, very good. Yeah. No, okay, I know. Actually, I did this the other day, and the person said, "Mom," and I was like, "No, no, no, not mom." Okay, so um, enough joking around. You said the four of hearts, and of course, I have the four of hearts. Yes,
Wow.
Yay!
yes,
Yay!
That's fantastic.
yeah.
That was
Oh,
well
that's so
worth it.
cool.
Oh, wow. It is a wowzer.
It
Do you
is.
have
It
any
is a lot, isn't it?
questions,
Yeah,
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 Cheryl?
you're
yeah.
Sorry.
right.
Do you have any questions for Tommy before we get
Oh.
into his book?
Other than, are you
Are
going to
we up
show
to
us
the
something
fifth?
else later? Are you
I
going to
can,
show us another trick later?
I can, yes.
Thank you.
Yay! Yay!
Because
Yay!
I would like to see that later.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yes.
So Beyond the Veil, it's a show online, July 20th. What time and how can people attend it?
Let's take a look again. There we go. Breaking the Veil, a mysterious demonstration of the weird and bizarre, magic, mystery, mayhem, and other creepy weirdness. July 20th, with happy birthday to Dr. Michael, yes. Now, I don't know if he was born at 4 in the afternoon, but the show is born, the show is born, the show is at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, so that would be 1 p.m. Michael's time and 9 p.m. UK time. Sorry, Joe. I don't know what time it is in Australia. I know it's something like 15 hours ahead, so I guess it would be, I don't know,
The
9
next
a.m.
day. It would be the next day.
Yes. And you can get tickets at ticket stores, ticketstores.us/ Tommy Burnett Productions. And I want to give a shout out to Micah for being the first person to buy a ticket for this show. So thank you, Micah. I appreciate it.
Yay.
And hopefully he won't be the only one.
Maybe send me the link, Tommy, please, via instant messenger so I can put it also at the bottom of the screen with the
Absolutely.
graphics and all in post. So I want to make sure people get that.
Yeah.
Because you just, those of you who never witnessed Tommy before just did. And that's just a snippet. I can't wait to see. I've never seen your full evening show or anything other than one effect once a week or twice a week on Zoom. So I can't wait to see your experiments of the mind, if you will. And speaking of mind, the mind boggles. I was fortunate, actually, Cheryl and I were fortunate enough to preview your upcoming book, Beneath the Surface, not to be confused with Beyond the Veil, Beneath the Surface. I think
Yes.
there's probably going to be some kind of tie-in. There it is. Whoa, how'd you do that? And
It's almost like I was prepared for this.
at least somebody's prepared. I'm glad.
Exactly.
Uh, so I went through, to be honest with everyone, I went through the table of contents. I actually went through the contents of the whole book about a week ago, more or
Hmm.
less, and
Hmm.
felt overwhelmed. I won't kid you guys, because it's kind of like so detailed, so important. And I'm not just saying this to be nice, Tommy. I hope you know that. I think you know me by now.
Hmm.
But there's not one word in that book that's not necessary. There's not one thought. Wow, I just felt that. Thank you, Tommy.
Well, thank you.
Um, there's not one phrase or sentence in there that's not necessary. It's a very crucial book as a working professional, as working professionals. Um, you'll see that right away. Anyone who's tuning into the show, if you're not a working professional but have some interest in mentalism, it's really important that you get it so that you're not just doing. Yes, I'll say the T word. Mentalism isn't about tricks. Mentalism is about engaging. It's about drawing people into knowing that there's something more in this life. And I love the fact that you're coming from a real place. Yes, there's theatrics. We have to include
Mhm.
theater and we have to look good and maybe have a character that's an extension of ourselves. But more importantly, the authenticity factor, which I believe, in my humble opinion, you bring to the table, to the magic table, you bring to a show or a performance. And this will, many people will get it, some people won't. They'll get other stuff in the book, and that's fine. That's the sign, the mark of a really good book. So I made notes, I made little tick marks in red so I can't miss it. But much of it is for the working performer, the working magician, mentalist, bizarrist, etc. But we can right now talk some generalities. For
Mhm.
example, like we won't get specific about the one ahead or the one behind principle and all of
Yeah.
that, but audience management, which in any performance is so crucial. Did you want to touch on that?
Sure. I mean, as someone with a speech impediment, I found it very important for me. Like I was told very early on that you have to win your audience over in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Otherwise, uh, they're not going to get the rest of the show. If you can win them over right away, the rest of your show's going to be a piece of cake because they like you, they are invested in you. Um, so for someone like me who have a visible difference, or even if it's like audio, um, I had to cut that time in half and try and win people over within the first couple of minutes. Um, Otherwise, people were still trying to figure out why does this guy talk weird, you know. Um, and so, I talk a little bit about that in the book. I don't get too personal. I thought about, do I want to get personal in the book, but I think I might do that in my next book after this. I want it to be more technical in the fact that even though I'm talking mostly about theory, um, and principles, um, I didn't want it to necessarily be about me, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Um, I wanted, this is like my offering to the world about what I believe about magic and mentalism. And you can either agree with me or not. But this is me putting myself into the world. What I learned from my mentors, plural, um, and they're reading the book right now. And so far, I haven't heard anything from them. So I'm like, oh my God, they hate it. They hate it. But I don't think that's what's going on. They're both really busy. Um, but I'm glad you like the book. um, yeah. So I mean, audience management. Without audience management, even if it's as simple as um, making them feel welcome on stage and not using them as a prop. Very important. I'm always I'm very deeply involved with my volunteers. I rarely use them anymore. I used to use them as props in the beginning because I didn't know any better. Um, but now if they don't have a purpose, there's no reason for them to be up there. So I'm very meticulous about how I get a volunteer, and I don't ask for a volunteer. I just get one. I
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
stopped asking years ago because many times people don't want to volunteer because
Yes.
they don't know what to expect. So that's all part of audience management. You want to find somebody who's nodding their head when you're talking and maybe smiling and you approach them, and you say, "Come with me," and they will. It's very. I've in 40 years of active performing, I've maybe had two people say, "Can you add somebody else?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." How about you? And then,
Exactly.
um,
Yes.
yeah, let it roll off your back like water off the back of a duck.
Is it
Um,
fair to say in this book and in your writings in general and in your performances that you take the audience on a journey?
I hope so. I mean, that's part of the intent is without actually saying it, this is my life. This is my experience from 40 years plus of regular performing and making mistakes and learning from my mistakes. And hopefully, you can learn from my mistakes by following what's in the book. Um, I've changed the order of the chapters a number of times since it was completed, and I think now it's the right order. But it's never going to be perfect. But I think it's as perfect as I can make it now, and I'm really excited. I can't wait for people to be able to open it up and read it
We're
and hope.
excited too about it. One of the things, the non-tools, I'll say, of the mentalist or
Mhm.
bizarrist or mystery entertainer is a lot of the person's show, and I'll say person because it could be a male or a female performer,
Mhm.
um, propless. I see you address propless as one of the titles. Actually, it's chapter 23, or at least the appearance of it being propless. And let's chat briefly about the pros and cons because you're not presenting yourself as a magician where props, colorful props and silks, handkerchiefs and birds sometimes and all of that. Yes, I'm back in the 70s and 80s and doves and maybe budgies as well. But regardless, and rabbits, the mentalist or the bizarrist or the mystery entertainer is essentially connecting sans props without props, apparent props.
Yeah.
And I'd like to, and I'm sure our audience would like to learn some of the pros and cons to that from your perspective.
Absolutely. Now, cooperative mechanism, there's a couple of camps. Um, some people really love it, and some people don't. And then there's some people in between. I'm one of the people in between. There's some cooperative effects I don't go near, partly because I have a hard time pulling them off. And that's probably something I need to work on, but not necessarily. Because I think part of the problem with the term propolis is that a lot of the younger magicians and meddlers think that it all has to be propolis in order to look real, and that is not the case. In fact, if it was completely propolis, it would be pretty freaking boring.
Yes, absolutely.
Um, Now, if you're doing a one-on-one thing and you want to come across as having the gift, then a proper effect will be up your street. A very good friend of mine from the UK, his career is based around proper mechanism. Fraser Parker has written many great books on Propolis mechanism. So has my other friend, Peter Turner, has written a lot of great things on Propolis stuff. Now, neither one of them say that that's all they do, because it's not. But they just happen to be very good at it, so they write a lot of books on Propolis. In beneath the surface, when I talk about propolis, it's not so much, like the famous propolis trick effects really are name revelations or zodiac revelations. I often do one by Peter Turner because it's the one that I feel comfortable with doing. And it lands 98% of the time. The other 2%, the person will say, oh, well, you probably just made a good guess that, because they all have a certain amount of letters. And I'll say, yeah, you know what, you're right. But I wasn't doing mechanism. I was trying to figure out how you think. And now that I know how you think, let me show you this, right? So either way, it works. If I remember correctly, I did write out a full stage routine that is pretty much proper, except for the reveal envelope at the end. That I've done a number of times in front of a large audience and plays really, really well. But like you said, the effects in the book are very few and far between. It might be 20 altogether. I don't even think there's that many in the book because I really wanted to concentrate on the behind the scenes type of thing. I even talked a little bit about marketing and how to get jobs, which I think is more important than learning an effect. Because there are plenty of people out there who are far better creators than I am. I mean, I love my creations. I think my creations are really good, but fair is fair. There are people who are much better at that than I am. You know,
I also find, Tommy, and hopefully you'll agree with me on this,
yeah.
if your audience is generally emotionally engaged with you, you won't really have too many problems with them accepting. Oftentimes in my act, and yes, it's an act, I'll bring in a dearly departed. If it's a revelation, a name of someone who's passed away, or a message that they're giving, the dearly departed is giving, I'll often get somebody up from the audience to focus on the person when they were alive and their emotional
Mm.
feeling, and get them to remember how the look in their eye was that light or a smile, and right there there's stuff going on a legitimate level as well, because perhaps they are connecting with the dearly departed. It's not for us to say either way, but I noticed, and I might have missed this. This is just between us, yeah, and Facebook and the world. Just speaking
Wait, what?
generally, electronics versus not in mentalism. Where do you sit or stand on that?
I have nothing against electronics, but you better have a backup. Uh,
Yes.
I've learned that the hard way, where I had a thumper, and I won't explain what that is. If you know what it is, great. I had a thumper around my ankle, and as I was climbing the stairs to go on stage, the thumper fell off my ankle.
Oh,
Uh, so
oh,
I had no way of communicating with my ally in the audience. Now, fortunately for me, both I and my assistant know sign language, so he was able to sign the answers to me, and I was able to continue. Um, but he wasn't my regular assistant, so I had to figure out from then on. I had to figure out to have a backup or to not do that effect that way. Um, and I believe at the time that was the markers where you give somebody a picture and they have to fill in the different colors.
yes.
Um, and so now I do that a completely different way that doesn't use electronics whatsoever. But um, if you're doing a bizarre act, it's nice to have a bell that rings by itself, or a wine glass that blows up. So right now, if I'm going to do that, I would use an electronic device. Having said that, all my electronic devices are on that shelf over there and have not been touched in months. That's all
Yeah,
I have.
I hear you. I hear
Not,
you. So
not that I just haven't used them, right?
can you
So,
honor us with one more effect before we do the giveaway? I believe you said you had
yeah,
at least two books to
yeah,
give away.
yes.
So let us, I think, at Cheryl's request, not bequest, but request, I think,
No, I remember he said that he would like to have people come and ask him to do an act for him.
Aw,
yes, I'm a
aw,
witness. There you
And I
go.
know he prefers live performances.
that's okay. Let's see how far back I can go with this without cutting my edges off. So far, so good. Oh, no, no,
Oh,
okay,
now
here
you're
we go.
back.
There I
Yeah, you
am.
got to be careful. No
That's
freezing.
good.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, I think my computer, I need to get a new computer. So let's see. Can you see these? Yeah. All right. So, uh, it can be shallow, or if you want to select volunteer from the audience, that's okay too. But so
It's tempting actually, because I know we have some people that come to the and I can't find her. I was going to try to find Holly, but we
oh
also do have Micah. Or how
oh
about one mentalist to another? What about the great Kevin Peele?
oh
Ooh.
no.
He was
Yes,
not
I did it,
prepared.
Kevin. Surprise.
Forewarned him.
Sorry, I've got to look this way because I've got it on my telly over there.
Oh,
So,
that's
Yeah.
funny.
but the camera's over here. So,
That's
I don't.
funny. Hey.
I'm going to hear from this later, I have a feeling.
Yeah, no, I was wondering why Ian was in the corner like that.
Patrick.
Ian goes in the corner. Okay, so I don't know if I can shuffle these up here like this without. Oh, I'll do my best here. I almost dropped them. All right, so Kevin, do me a favor and name. Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, are you on mute?
No,
Oh, okay. You
I'm
said,
just using sign language.
yeah, you said a really good mime.
I was just going to say that. Oh my God.
Yeah, um, I know you've been musician, so you're familiar with the different faces in the deck of cards. Do me a favor and just name any playing card.
Name any playing card.
Yeah, any playing card.
9 of clubs.
Nine of clubs. Now, if if um if I were able to take the top card and turn it over and it was nine clubs, that would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing.
I know, well, I can't do that, but as for saying, that would have been amazing, right? But let me just see here. I'm going to try and take the nine of clubs and put it in a certain position. Let's see. Is there a nine of clubs? There must be a nine of clubs in there. Oh my God.
That's the miracle. It's gone.
Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, so I put the nine of clubs in a certain position. Ian, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Do me a favor and name a number between 40 and 45.
Number between 40 and 45. 43.
Yeah, 43. Okay, so I'm just going to let's see, did I do that right? Oh, I hope I did this right. Okay, I'm just going to count to 43 as 2, 3, 4, 5. You said 43, right, Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Oh, sorry, you said,
43.
yeah, what about, sorry, 43. And the card you said was what?
9 of clubs.
9 o'clock, just like that.
Hey.
Yay.
Ooh.
Awesome. Thank you for assisting Kevin
Yes,
and
thank
Ian, is
you.
it?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank
You.
you. And let's get to the giveaways. How do you want to do this, Tommy? Do you want people to contact you directly via instant messenger
Yeah,
or
we
what?
can do that. Yeah, we can do
Yeah, I
that.
think it's more direct that way.
Yeah.
So let's hold up those books again.
Okay, so
And
I think these
if
will be the most interesting one for advancing mother. You're gonna have to have a copy of Mother of All Book. That's the paperback you just used for this one. This one is an effect that I came up with about 10 years ago. And the effect is you have a double blank deck of cards. You will have to do some DIY. But you basically are going to put um, pictures on each card along with a number and a word. So eventually it will look like, if it, come on, show me the money. Uh, why isn't it here? Oh, no, that's not it. Well, okay. Here's a list of moves there. You're going to have two sets of words from A to W written out on each card, one word per card, one drawing per card, and one number per card. And they can be shuffled by the volunteer. And then they pick out any card at random. You don't see any of the other cards. They hold it to their chest. They take a look at either the drawing, the number, or the word. All you have to do is ask them one question, and then you can tell them everything on the card.
wonderful. So hold up the two books once again because people will have to ask for them by name when they instant message you.
Yeah,
There's
this,
Cyclops
yeah,
and the other one,
one
or
is called advancing mother.
there we go. So if you want that, get on it right now. The first two people to request that, get them directly from Tommy Burnett. Tommy, how can people contact you if they want to book you for a show?
Whoa, look at that. Yes.
I love
Again,
it.
Mm.
almost like I had it planned. TommyBurnett.com is my personal website. MagicTaboos.com is where you can get all my wonderful effects. And my email, TommyBurnett1, not two, but one, at gmail.com. And my phone number, 929-641-8331. Get out of here. Oh, wrong way.
Whoa, awesome. I can't wait to get you back on near the end of July so we can go into a lot more detail about your book, Beneath the Surface, which every mentalist should own. Well, I was going to say, will you come back?
Wrong one. Yes, I
I think
will.
there's no choice. And you just showed as well Beyond the Veil, July 20th. Do get tickets. The
Great to meet
URL, the address will be at the bottom
you.
when you get through with me. So wonderful. Thanks again. What a pleasure and an honor to have you on.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much, Tommy Burnett.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Lady C.
Thank
Uh,
you.
see you
Thank
next time.
you. And of course, we'll see Tommy Lady C on this Wednesday on the Open Mic Magic Theater. I can't wait to see what feats of mind magic he has for us, huh?
Oh my gosh. Always fantastic. Seeing everything he does.
Oh.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so grateful that he decided to come on this time and can't
And
wait to share what he has to share with our audience. And of course, I have to thank you too, Cheryl. Without you, I wouldn't have a co-host. No, without you, you add so much to the show. You sure do. Also, as my partner in magic, and with Michaela, your assistant as well, who she's really her daughter. So thanks once again, Cheryl. We'll see you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
And also, I have a giveaway. Well, it is essentially a giveaway. It's a contest I'm running to get the third in a series of my books, my Ghosts and Spirits books. It's called Psyched, and it's a combination of the first two and this third one all in one. If you liked the first one, you'll love the second, but certainly the third one. Go to my web page, my website, and look under contests or contest to enter. It's free and it's easy, and I look forward to some people entering the contest as well. My website is magic, spelled Magick, all one word, magicmikelikey.com. And come visit the site anyway. And come visit me on Open Mic Magic Theater this Wednesday. Look it up on Facebook. Um, we do this show all for you guys. There's nothing physical, no money to be gained by it. We just love magic. We love interacting with you guys. We're so
Oh,
grateful that you come to visit us every Saturday at 1 p.m. West Coast time, 4 p.m. New York time, and 9 p.m. UK time. I won't even try to do the Australia thing. Hopefully someone will wisen me up to that. That's about it, unless I've forgotten something. We'll see you all really soon.